All right, today I'm going to teach you something that I love when trading gold. I love to trade gold futures and gold in the foreign exchange market. One strategy that works consistently for me is always the 200 EMA. I use the 200 EMA, and if the market is underneath, I only look for sales. If the market is above, I only look for buys. So when I come to the market and it's looking like this, I'm like, okay, the market is underneath the 200 EMA, so I'm looking for a sale. So now I'm going to go to the left. I'm going to grab my horizontal line and I'm going to mark my zone. The market is coming here in this area. This is my high for the consolidation, and the market is coming here for the low. Okay, so I'm going to look at this zone right here. I mean, you can adjust it, move it up or down, however you want, but I would be looking here. Okay, and then once that market comes out, for futures and for Forex, I use Hakanashi candles. And what I'm looking for is for a doji and a flat. And that's just the terminology that I use. And that's what I call it, a doji and a flat top. All right. And so what has to happen for me is that I want to see a doji and a flat, not on my zone line, away from my zone line. And when I see that, then I'm going to be looking to enter the trade for whatever dollar amount or point amount that I am going to take on the trade. Okay. And so again, here I got a doji, it's on the line. These are all flat, so this is not where I want to enter. These are dojis. Okay. Here is a flat, but that's not where I want to enter. So I'm going to keep going. Now, this is a doji and a flat, but I really want some really good momentum on it. Um, but I might take it, right? Depending on how the market is moving. So here, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to circle this. I got my doji and I got my flat, okay? Once I get my doji and my flat, now I'm looking to get in the trade for the sale. Let's see where we'll see another one. This one right here is perfect because I'm always looking for momentum. So if I miss this one, I can go ahead and I can take this one. This is beautiful. I like this doji. I like this flat. And guess what? Now I'm going to enter the trade for the sale, and I am going to trade either my dollar amount or my point amount on gold. But typically, when I get my doji and my flat, the market is going to be moving in a beautiful direction. The market is underneath my 200 EMA, which is always very important to me for my sale. Here is my zone. I will not take a trade unless the candle opens and closes first underneath my zone. So the market has now opened and closed. And so next I'm looking for my entry, and my entry is going to be about the doji and the flat. So I could have got in here. I had a slight point of pullback happening here, but the market continued to push down, right? And then I can wait here. And this is my second entry. And this is where I got my doji and my flat. Okay. And the market continued to move down. So let's say I traded my dollar amount and I got paid. I got all my money here. And now I'm looking for my next doji and my next flat. Okay. So here she is. I can re-enter the trade here and scalp all the way down. Okay. And then I can wait again. Once I've cleared my trade, I'm going to wait for my next doji and my flat. And guess what? Here she is. One second. Doji and a flat. Okay. And so now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to ride my trade until I get to my take profit. If I need another entry, guess what? Here it is. I clicked the wrong item. Okay. And I want it to be the same color. A lot of people always ask, well, does it have to be the same color? Yeah, I typically want it to be the same color. I don't like to do opposite colors. Okay. So doji in the flat, I can get in here. I've got some pullback here. It's pushing. Now, when it starts to be doing all of this, this is definitely letting me know that the market is going to reverse. Okay. So I'm not interested in trading there. So what I can do is take my horizontal line and I can place it right here. Okay. You really could bring it down to the low right here, and I prefer the low of the body of the candle. And then I'm going to go ahead and place my high up here, okay? Because this is where the market is coming, and I call it like hitting a brick wall. It's coming here, right? And it's turning around. So now I don't even want to participate anymore until it breaks out of the zone. And what's the rule? Once it breaks out of the zone, I need a candle to open and close, a Hakanashi candle to open and close underneath my zone. So once I see this candle, I'm like, okay, now we can roll, right? And then I want a doji in a flat. Well, I have a doji in a flat here, okay? So I could possibly enter here, or I could wait for another entry down here, okay? Which is where I'm going to be looking to get into the trade. And again, I'm trading futures and Forex, so I'm going to put in my amount, and I can assure you I cleared on that trade and that I would clear on this trade as well. All right. Happy trading. Once it goes back up in my zone, I know that this is a reverse. There's no confusion about it. No confusion. All right. And I'm never trying to get in at the bottom of anything. So this is just another basic strategy that you can use and you can practice. You're going to mark up your zone. Let me put that there. Your zone is just simply the high and the low. You're supporting your resistance zone, okay? And then you are looking for a doji and a flat, is what I like to call it, for your entry. And you want to make sure that that flat, either your flat top for the sale, or let's look at this buy, right? So the buy opened and closed here. It pushed up, it pulled back. You got a doji and a flat. And you could possibly enter here, but your market is reversing as well. So we pay attention to that. And that's why we mark the high and the low, because we want it to break those areas before we hold a trade. Look at the video on break and retest, and we're always looking for a break three to come all the way down. Anyway, but this video is on entry. So mark up your zone. I hope you saw the video on marking up your zone. And then you can always look for a doji and a flat for a good entry if you're trading futures or if you're trading Forex on gold, but you're doing quick scalps. All right. Happy trading. I hope this is helpful.